From 5 to 0, no command in the universe can prevent the computer from fulfilling its destruct orders.
15 seconds.
I command the computer. Mine is the final command.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Mine is the final command to talk about Marketing Tech Blog. If you have not heard this show before, boy, that was a weird intro, wasn't it?
That might have been the worst ever.
I think so. I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to run with this intro.
Hey, you know what? William Shatner is on my short list of people to have lunch with someday.
He is king.
Yes,
he is
absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no Picard. It's Kirk.
Yeah.
All right. This is Edge of the Web Radio. Sorry about that, guys. This is Edge of the Web Radio with Site Strategics and Marketing Tech Blog. If you haven't heard us before, we're talking about internet marketing issues, how to raise that website, get value to your customers, showcase stories, showcase communication, and personality of companies. And a lot of that has to do with content marketing. A lot of that has to do with a lot of things that Marketing Tech Blog talks about on a regular basis. So we wanted to continue to include Marketing Tech Blog, and honestly, we've got a brand new relationship. We're going to be bringing Doug on and his staff on a regular basis to be able to give these articles the exposure that they need.
Love the opportunity, and this is just a perfect show for that.
Excellent.
And you guys had Jen on last week, which is great, and we'll have Marty on, in the future.
Cool.
So we'll rotate it around so that you don't always have to hear this guy.
Oh. I was going to ask, if you wouldn't mind, can we?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got some exciting news. I'm not sure if it's in there today, but if you search for Marketing Tech Blog in the App Store, the iPhone app should be there. Now,
I actually probably need to buy an iPhone 5 just to play this.
You really should.
Probably, because
there's my
Gorilla
business,
Glass or something.
There's my business expense right there.
So the fantastic part of this is that obviously you can read all the material that's on the blog, but also you'll be able to just click play and listen to the podcasts.
That's cool.
And click play and listen to the videos, or watch the videos, I should say.
Just click play.
That's it. Just click play.
Awesome.
That's it. So, and then we've actually got the Edge of the Web Radio videos on the blog now.
Yeah, we caught that.
On the footer of the blog. So we'll keep those going as well.
Appreciate it.
No, it's just fantastic, and you guys do a great job. So we love joining you.
Even with that bad intro.
Even with the bad intro, I love the bad intro. Hey, you know what? I wanted to take a moment this week, because we had huge news here in Indianapolis. We had the what appears to be a gas explosion in a home, and you guys might have noticed that I made the news on that.
Yeah, we caught that.
I did want to take a moment and talk about it because it was such an incredible event. For people that don't know, or I don't know who doesn't know about this.
I know it was national.
Yeah, it was national
Wall
news.
Street caught it the day of.
Yeah,
The next day.
It was about
Sunday.
About 3/4 of a mile from where I live. A home exploded, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I felt it. I actually thought someone hit my house.
Yep.
That's how strong it was. And that was 3/4 of a mile away. So it was just an incredible explosion. And so I immediately got in the car. We threw some blankets in the car and some water and went to see if anybody needed help. We didn't know what happened at the time. We didn't know if it was a plane crash. We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we heard the same thing. We were right down the street from it.
We ran over there. But I got to say, the reason why I want to talk about it on the show is a couple things. One was I got a lot of press that honestly was over. It was a bit much. All I did was, a couple needed a place to stay, and I opened up the house. But when I got over there, the first thing is first responders. Oh my God, in Indianapolis, incredible. Within minutes, the entire neighborhood was cordoned off. The people were getting evacuated. They were put, being brought to a local school within minutes. People running into these, one of the houses that was on fire still, and saved the family. The gentleman that we took care of, older guy, retired, triple bypass surgery 6 months ago. He was running house to house, turning off people's gas. So just an incredible neighborhood, incredible people. one of the things that I wanted to talk about was when we went over to the school where the emergency center, I guess, was put together. By the time I got over there was already thousands of pounds of food and water and dog food and everything else for these 100 families
amazing.
that were in there. And I wanted to give a shout out, Neil Cox, who's Indie Christian on Twitter, and then Ben McCann, who's also on Twitter. He's Catalyst 4182. These guys literally had a social media table set up right there, and were tweeting. So they had Ready Indy was the Twitter handle, and they had set up another site where they were posting what was needed for supplies and everything else.
That is awesome.
This is within an hour of the emergency that these guys, ran over there and started enlisting the help of social media. So Twitter and Facebook, for people in Indianapolis that were watching it, it was incredible. You were literally seeing, minute by minute what was happening at the school, on location, everything else. Now, there was some other stuff too. You had mentioned.
Yeah. I mentioned that's great though, because that's for, that's really helping people. For the people that were trying to keep up on the news, there was some hashtags, which was Indie Boom and Indie Explosion. And I went back and I was trying to catch up. What happened?
Right.
We did not know what exactly happened.
Right. And Indie Boom, a lot of people were really mad about Indie Boom because people died, and they said it sounds kind of funny and it's a terrible hashtag. Well, Indie Boom was the initial hashtag, and it was just literally when it happened. Nobody knew that something bad happened.
Sure.
Right.
They figured, maybe it was a sonic boom, whatever it was.
Well, some talked about it being a lab of a drug lab or something, or an airplane was the initial initial thoughts.
But there was never, never any ill will. It was Sean Plew, actually, a good friend of mine. He started the hashtag, and it was a perfect hashtag, nice and short. Indie Boom, everybody got it immediately. Started adopting it. Well, then people later on, once they figured out what it was, and it was kind of a horrific event, they didn't like it. Well, too bad. It did the job.
Right.
It did the job because everybody was watching it. And then Indie Explosion kind of took off after that.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit more, PC, I guess.
But,
But thank goodness for someone thinking quick on their feet and actually getting a hashtag so that people could, start talking about what was going on. And then the funny thing was, I was really getting mad later in the night because the conspiracy theories started.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I was like, can you give it a day? But the big thing here I want to get out to people was it was immediate. Facebook and Twitter and a social media desk there. Right. Indianapolis Red Cross was on site talking to the guys at the social media desk about what was needed and what wasn't needed. These guys, they showed up, they drove over there. They had no idea what they were running into, but they set up and said, we're going to help. And
that's fantastic.
That's just a great story with social media.
But it shows you what social media can really be used for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the tools are available to make quick use of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Fox 59 was definitely on the ball when it came to utilizing Facebook and Twitter as well.
Now, were they mentioning the handles at all when they were doing the news?
I think so. I mean, in their Twitter updates, they definitely were.
Yeah.
And they were using both of them on most of them. So, but I just wanted to give a shout out because. I got a lot of press out of it, and really these first responders deserve the most press.
What were their handles again?
Indie Christian and Catalyst 4182.
So you can follow them on Twitter if you want to.
Follow them
say
on
a thank
Twitter.
you to them.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then Ready Indy was the Twitter account that they set up for future. That if this ever happens again, if there's any type of an emergency, Ready Indy, go to that and you can get updated on what supplies are needed and
but
what
boys,
information.
Isn't that great? Kind of. New technology being, literally it can be an infrastructure that you can put in place prior to any, so you can start paying attention to
Well,
different geotags
yeah.
for that type of communication.
I think the thing is, and I like the idea of having something already done, but the reality of it is when something like this happens, we
Right.
forget. We're gonna forget, and that's the beauty of Twitter. It allows you to make that instant hashtag that's
Right.
relevant to that exact
Exactly.
thing. So
The other thing that they used was they used meettheneed.org. Meet the Need is a real-time needs assessment site. So as they needed dog food, they could put it up there. They put up immediately. They put up that they needed moving vans, and a moving van company showed up. I mean, all of this,
That's awesome.
all of this within hours of this happening. It was just obviously a horrific event, but seeing the community outpouring, seeing the professional, our firefighters and police that came to the rescue, those guys just, incredible. They were there for days. The arson investigator that I met, he was there for 2 days straight, no sleep.
yeah, wow.
And then
They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah.
And then this community of other people that just wherever they could fill in, jumping in was without a
It
shadow
was
of a
amazing.
doubt.
It was amazing that 2:00 in the morning there's so many people going to Marsh, going to Meijer, going to Kroger, grocery stores, and just bringing everything that they could, and they were getting almost overloaded with donations of food stuff to help out. That was a great, just seeing the community come together like that.
Yeah, and by the way, the people that food and stuff, a lot of people thought, well, all these people are kind of moving back into their homes and everything else. Well, there's still, I think, 11 families that are living, out in hotels and motels that food now is feeding them.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
So that's the first thing, and then the next is Red Cross is paying those bills, and not people's insurance companies. Not they will get relocated where insurance will start taking care of some of that stuff. But the Red Cross and that food is definitely what helped these people, get
So
through.
stay focused, Indy, because they still need help, and do what you can to actually communicate on a regular basis and find out where the needs are, right?
Yeah, and Fieldhouse tonight is putting on a dinner for these folks, which is pretty cool. Showing support for them. But and God bless the families that passed away. What a terrible tragedy.
Well, you are listening to Edge of the Web. This was a pretty striking segment here, and you know what? We'll have additional links on this particular issue on Edge of the Web. I'm sure Marketing Tech Blog already has these links on there.
Yeah, we'll write up about it.
Check this stuff out. It's pretty important stuff. Give us you're listening to Edge of the Web Radio. We'll be right back with some more e-commerce talk. Talk to you real soon.